Alright, welcome back to the Vamos. We are about to tell Portugal to go stuff themselves even more. Don't need Frenchy in this. I will be taking Lisbon with gusto. Good kill. As for you, yeah, well, I don't want to bring all 16 across, do I? Split you in half. You come across to Madeira, we're going to take Madeira as well. I should hit Lisbon before you can even move off. Yes, I won't have a general. Yes, I actually have a tactics disadvantage. But I have the numbers that you should melt. I also have the morale. I really have the morale. Thanks to all these temporary buffs and the prestige. Okay, split in half, follow them, stack wipe them. Simple. Should be simple, really. Although they gotta take a reinforcement, which is a pain. But as soon as they leave, well, they're gonna go to the Algarve. Yeah, that's gonna be that'll be a wipe. Don't mind those in Missouri. Have we got? Yes, the boats are in place. We shall also be landing in Madeira because I'd like Madeira as well. Anything we can do to get Portugal, to reduce Portugal's land even more, the better. Okie dokie. Lisbon is looking good. Oh, they actually built a force on Madeira, just like how I did on the Canaries. Well, that's something I'll have to bear in mind. In regards to which place I want to blockade, I'll probably just keep blockading over here as Lisbon got a wall breach pretty early, which is good. Get a land there, beautiful. No general. Goodbye. Mine. That's all I can say. Mine. Give. Give clay, Portugal. Give clay. Oh, another thing I forgot to do is set the timer. Well, let's let that go anyway. It's 30 minutes. It's close enough. You guys are going to take a while to get there. Did Carib expand? No, they didn't. That's just a large province. I was like, did Carib expand? No, just a slightly larger than usual province. A few rebels, mostly from the conversions more than anything else. Although I think all of this kind of added together for a teensy bit of OE. Yeah, just a teensy bit. And there's a bit of war exhaustion as well. Ooh, hello. The Casa de Contrataxi... that thing was established by Isabella I of Castile in 1503 as a government agency to oversee all Spanish colonization. Voyages of exploration and trade had to be approved by it, and all colonial taxes were collected by it. The Casa was also instructed to try and protect secret information on new trade routes and discoveries. Establish it for 1% settler chance and global settler increase until the end of the game. And that's very nice to have some global settler increase. It's a small buff, but even at this early stage of the game, that's a lot. And yes, it does look like I'm losing money because... Well, actually I am losing money because I'm technically running 4 colonies on 3 colonists, so that's an extra 4 ducats. But that's going to finish very soon because Sao Tome is going to finish this month. Also, actually, if that finishes, that's going to be... No, 2, 3... That's only going to be 4 when that finishes. Okay, there should be enough time for these to convert before that final one cores in Hambupe. And there we go. Sao Tome has become self-sustaining. The colonist is already off here in Alagoas. Oh, that was a battle. Oh, right, some traders. Oh, and there was a Portuguese explorer on that. Well, thank God he's gone. Ooh, Lisbon's falling quick, and I like this. Especially now they got a blockade. Thanks, Aragon, for helping me out with the blockade. That's incredibly helpful. Oh, oh, I hate this. Oh, right, this one. Whenever you have a cardinal on a border, in a border province of someone, they generally tend to get an event which allows them to bribe them over, or we can, you know, do something. I don't know. Hang on. Oh no, it's the other way around. Okay, we're getting to bribe their. No. Yes, we're getting to bribe their cardinal rather than the vice versa. So, in exchange for a little bit of money, we gain a new cardinal. They lose a cardinal. It goes over the border. They have a chance of getting a Diplo Insult CB, but they can't exactly use it because I'm already at war with them. And lose some opinion, doesn't matter. Or just gain a spy master. No, we shall take the cardinal. Thank you very much indeed. 5 cardinals. Oh, there's some heretics converted. I'm not going to commence to core that because when this cores, all of this land is going to go to the colonial nation. So I don't want to... Basically, I just don't want to waste my points because as soon as they get the province, the coring process is, well, ended, cancelled, basically. There's no point in wasting my points for it. Oh, hi Naples, you really didn't need to. I'm already whacking them enough. You should have stayed at home. It's unfortunate that I can't actually tell them to stay at home because, well, they're only a PU junior, they're not a vassal. Only PU juniors don't have... You can't set their military focus or anything, you can only... Well, you can't set their military focus at all. We shall aid natives. You just basically... You know, they just do stuff. They do it of their own accord. You can't direct them unless you use the objective markers. But basically, they'll just behave by themselves. Usually, PU juniors can be small, but can also be pretty darn big, which is why they think they can rule by themselves or decide their own focus. And there is that chord. I believe that will... Is that 5 cores immediately? Yeah. Yes, that is 5 cores. So at the turn of the month, I think we're going to guess the nation. We shall get our colonial nation. We shall get to Brazil. Now what to call this is the real thing. Do I just be boring and call it Brazil, or do I give it a nice fancy name? Oh, and here is the Treaty of Tordesillas, just to say the Pope affirms our legal right to colonial Brazil. Other Catholic countries will no longer have a legal right to take territory here, and our colonies will grow quicker. Case in point, you can see here, there's another 10 here from the treaty. And if some other nation were to try colonize here, they get a -20. You can see it's granted to Castile. And it says so right there. And the base name of Castilian Brazil, very, very boring. I'm not entirely too sure what to call it. I'm just gonna call it the Sambadrome, based on the Sambadrome inside of Sao Paulo, where the IndyCar race used to have the Sambadrome as the front straight. So we'll just call it the Sambadrome, or yeah, we'll call it Sambadrome. There we go. We have our first colonial nation here in Brazil. They're loyal. I should actually check up the loyalty now of these. They're slightly different. Their liberty desire is 8%. My war exhaustion is actually contributing to it. As you can see here, just added a little bit cancellation on diplomatization, but it also adds a bit to the liberty desire. Relative power to liege. I'm surprised they even have that. Tariffs are adding it in a base chance. Only the base tariffs contribute towards liberty desire, so 10% tariffs is 10% liberty desire. The modifiers from viceroys, the colonial, or the advisor I have, don't actually bring it up. It's just these. Also, that costs a lot of admin to change the tariffs. It's a lot of admin to change the tariffs, either up or down. I tend not to touch the tariffs. When it comes to the events that give you a chance, or to give you the opportunity to get tariffs, it all depends on the kind of game I want to play. Sometimes sometimes I'll focus solely on the points, sometimes I'll focus on the tariffs, because the events that raise the tariffs, just raise it for free. You're not spending admin to raise the tariffs. You're just leaving it as is. Or you can gain 10 of some random points. The thing is, it's random, you don't know what you're going to get. You never know, you might get points that you do need, you might get points that you don't need, just like with most other events that tend to give you random points. So I don't know if there are many other events that give you random points. Oh, another colony finished. I did not pay attention to that one. Espirito Santo is done. That'll give me another colonist back. I'm going to finish off a little bit more of the coast of the Brazilian trade node here before moving down. Can I actually reach... No, I'm actually too far away from Trinidad. I'm too far away from the Caribbean to get it. But I will want to start going towards the Caribbean soon. But I will need some more colonial range for that. Let us go to Pernambuco. There are no natives. We've won the siege of Lisbon. Yeah, Espirito Santo went straight there. Oh, okay. Usually in previous patches, you used to get an immediate pop-up after you finish the colonies saying, which is as you saw the pop-ups when the colonial nation formed, that one of your cores has gone to someone else, or someone else has gotten a core in a province that is also your core. Apparently that no longer shows up for when your colonial nation is given a territory. And also, let's actually keep an eye on them. Oh, they are converting it immediately. Okay. What's their progress like? Not great. It could have been better. Yeah, as you can see, they start with inflation reduction and some bonus to Republican tradition. I think missionary strength is the third one then, I guess. It was either third or fourth. I really can't fully remember which one it was. They also get your tech when you start, so these guys have a bit of a low dip tech to begin with. And they're also... Can they not core that because no connection, or... So they just not have the admin for it. So it has given them a bit of overextension, but again, they don't have any nationalism from taking native provinces. Disagreeing advisor, always lose the prestige for points, because it's always good. Oh right, I should be taking stuff from Portugal. Oh right, I can only take Lisbon. Because it's their capital, I can only take the one province. This is fine, I shall take that. I shall remove that. I'm not going to revoke your core. Could make you a vassal. You would... Oh, I would accept. They would accept making them a vassal. And usually you shouldn't take money from vassals, but I'm going to. I don't care. It's going to give... the AE is... Yeah, that's minimal. It's not much I need to worry about. I shall just take them. Portugal are now my vassals, so the whole plan of allying Bohemia, not going to happen for now. We shall core Lisbon straight up. I don't need to give any... I don't need to give any autonomy for now. We'll just get our armies back together. Also, that is going to... Having taken Lisbon, that is going to massively increase our income, or it should increase our income. Don't mind that 48, but it's 11. As you can see, we're getting a lot from trade, probably because we have a near monopoly on Seville. We pretty much have a monopoly on Sevilla. Yeah, I will want to explore the Caribbean sooner rather than later. Also, now that Portugal's a vassal, I can actually kind of see where they're going. They are loyal, surprisingly. Now, they have no liberty desire because historical friend. I militaristically vassalize you, and you're still historical friend. You still have massive lack of liberty desire from historical friends. My God, why? Just no. I hate you. I decided to hate you. I force vassalized you so that I could integrate you later and just take the two of these. That is silly. That is quite silly. Has Austria gone up? Oh, Austria's gone up to 48. Are they at war now? Oh yeah, they're at war. Who are they beating up on then? The TO? Oh, is that Poland going after the TO again? Yeah, Poland's going after the TO again. Oh well, Master Mint is gone, so we have... Oh, we can only have +2s. Well, I can actually... I'm making some money, so I will take the +2. Not making that enough. Not making 13, so I will take the +2. Less unrest, which kind of gets rid of all rebel progress, which is good. And we can focus solely on the colonization and not have to worry about much else. It also gives the admin, which will get me up to admin 8 sooner. Particularly because I just spent a bunch to core some lands. No point in doing any of that. We should just continue to spread our blight to the New World. Our colonies continue to grow. It will grow, again, it'll grow slowly. Oh, has our... Oh, these guys have made it. You have made it all the way across, so continue your hunt for the 7 cities. Explore the last bit of TI that you have around here. Still have that previous one there. Still have that previous buff, which is a good... Or the previous prestige buff. It's minor. Again, I'm still saying it's a minor prestige buff. Another poison rock. Ugh. How many of these places are going to have poison rocks? Oh, that's interesting. Now, is that put there because of poison rock, or is that just simply part of the terrain? Period. It's probably just part of the terrain. Also, they're kind of moving around a bit. They're moving around quite a bit. The migratory tribes. So let us continue with Brazil. And then hopefully we can go straight into the... I wouldn't mind going straight into the Caribbean, getting these islands, maybe getting Trinidad. Well, I like to ignore Trinidad because sometimes if you finish the colonial nation here, they will then expand to Orinoco Delta themselves. So I tend to have to colonize the both of them to basically keep them out of each other's face, or to basically just to stop them colonizing in each other's colonial nations. I don't like it when colonial nations expand their borders into a completely different colonial nation area. It's... I like everything to be nice and pretty, to follow the natural borders that are installed in the game. I don't like it when, you know, my CNs decide, hey, we're going to expand in this way right into their land, even though there's a colonial nation right there and also right next door who could have expanded there themselves. It's annoying. I wouldn't mind giving them a slap when they do that. Ooh, Brittany got revolutionaries. You should let them go, Brittany. You should really let them win. Be a republic. I rarely ever get revolutionaries when it's small enough to potentially be a republic. I've gotten them when I've been a massive, huge land. I even got them as Congo, but of course when my capital was down here, they spawned up here. I would have had to wait for them to siege everything between there and the capital before they could enforce and make me a republic. And also the The initial guy was pretty pants. But republics are nice in that you don't lose stam on rule or death. And we shall be taking Dip Tech 5, which is even more trade range and trade efficiency. Does that open up the Ivory Coast for me? Yes, that's 230. I believe I'm 2 behind. Yeah, 230 of 232. I should probably start heading into Africa. Have I got the range for Gold Coast? Almost have the range for Gold Coast. It'll probably be on... Once I get Dip 7, I can then send one of the colonists down to the Gold Coast with a small army to keep an eye on it, to colonize it, mostly, again, for the natural harbour, which aids in the... which just aids in keeping the... or aids in giving the bonus merchant. Also, marketplaces. I haven't built a marketplace in Andalusia. I should, to aid the trade power. Trade power propagation only comes from provinces that are... It only comes from the base province trade, not any light ships or anything, so anything you can do to increase the base trade power you have in a region helps. Oh yeah, I have a bit of Bordeaux. Ah well, I don't think I'm ever going to collect from that. I'm just going to be steering like everything away from there as soon as I get the opportunity to. Also, the other thing I just realised, colonial merchants. Now that 6, 7, 8, there's 9 here in Salmadrome. Once I get another, once one of these colonies finishes, I can then have my final, they'll then have 10 provinces and give me a colonial merchant. Well, lots of claims on Morocco, not too worried about that. It's only if I get the mission to continue the Reconquista again that I'll be going after them, because, again, they're just too expensive to core. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. An account of the new lands. Our conquistador may not have sent back golds, but he has sent back a magnificently detailed map of our new domains, and all of the unclaimed land waiting only for brave settlers to claim their destiny. That's surprisingly good news despite the lack of gold, and it is. Plus 10 global settler increase for 20 years! Thank you. That is going to massively help the expansion of the colonies. We get tropical wood. Just making sure that everything's going okay here. Oh, there's some heretics. Ugh, that's a bit of a pain. They're not granting autonomy. Good, they're not granting autonomy to places. But they are still converting and coring. It's also a shame you can't see their... You don't get the bar for their conversion and coring process like you do at vassals. You also don't get them on the PU juniors. You don't get them on colonial nations, which I find is a tad annoying. It'd be nice to know how close they are towards coring something before you start giving them more lands to overextend them even more. Just a bit. Still, I don't want to start converting that because that is just such a low base, and also the fact it's more reliant on my stability right now, which is why it's converting so quickly. Hopefully we'll be able to tech up very soon. So how much have you guys explored? Ooh, Chinook took over Sailor. No, that was Haida. No, that's Haida. No. Wait, it is Salish, is it? Oh, no, yeah, Salish is a nation. Forget Haida. Haida tend to start on an island around here. They eventually migrate towards the rest of these tribes to be together. Well, I think it's less of being together, more of, oh hey, someone that we can, you know, fight, humiliate, get points off of, but they're still, you know, native. Still impressed by how the Cherokee have started to go in. Oh, the Caddo have jumped in there. Will the Cherokee eat the Caddo, allied with Chickasaw? Maybe. Oh, allied with the Iroquois? Wow. That's nice. I don't know if they'll be able to do much. They're kind of... well, actually, they're close enough that they could if they ever start colonizing, which they never do because natives and AI. Mostly AI. Ooh, cocoa. Nice. I may start getting some of the events for chocolate and sugar if the colonial nations start getting more goods like that. There's like popularization of sugar, hot chocolate mostly. Hot chocolate mostly, I think you need to have 4 cocoa provinces in a nation. I'm not entirely too sure. Well, there's an event which basically increases the price of it. I don't know if it gives you any money or it just gives you a bunch of prestige because you're the nation where this price change initiate. That's kind of where it is. You're the place where this price initiated, so you gain some prestige. Fortification neglected in Soria. Either lose 10 army... Yeah, no. I rarely take the army tradition hit. I actually let the defenses fall. It's a bit of a pain. It means I have to guard it for a few years, but... I'd rather not lose the army tradition. I know I am losing a couple a year, but, you know, it's nice having army tradition. I don't like... I'd much prefer not to give up army tradition if I have to. There is an event, I think, which is a choice of a stab or an army tradition. I'm not entirely too sure. It might be a westernization-based event. It's either lose a stab or lose 25 army tradition. Ah, more false diamonds. Oh, and I didn't read whether that was the right way around or not. I never looked back in my initial footage as to whether it was the right way around or not. Oopsie! Oh, good point. Portugal. I should improve your relations so I can annex you later. And I never improved you at all, so I can add another 200. Which should get you close to us. Everything else will slowly wear off over time. The AE, the declaring of war, was at war, all of that will slowly wear off over time. Ooh, Pekeje's getting towards us, and so is Cusco. I don't think any of them are going to get any of those reforms because AI, although there's some fights going on. I'll recall from Bohemia. We're finishing off the north of California. There's only like a couple of provinces here, and then it's this part of the Great Trail, I think, here, and then Alaska. And then we've basically explored the entirety of the Americas. It's pretty darn quick before like 1500. What's wrong, Morocco? Are you still losing to your... Still losing to their pretenders, is it? Jeez, or no reps this time, not even pretenders. Interesting. We finished our marketplace. Should I build? No, let's not build any ramparts. Oh, I got the deserter again. We shall take the offense. I really want to build buildings, but I also want to save my points. Oh, we're getting very close. We should have it by the end of the year. Now, we will have the points by the end of the year, but we're also going to wait until the turn of the year when the ahead of time penalty is reduced. Again, I tend to save my points until the tech is basically 1 year ahead of time, but someone else will have generally taken it by then. I'm also not going to take the idea because I need Miltech 8. I'm quite far behind my neighbours. Some of my important neighbours have Miltech 8, and I should ideally get that to not have the tactics disadvantage, as well as the other good things it provides, such as a little bit of combat with, the infantry fire, cav shock. Also allows you to build your marsh. Not to be confused with the march, or vice versa. You still building things, Francie. Hasn't actually taken many ideas. Despite the fact he has offensive as well. And England, oh, exploration 2. Oh, they're also going after, wait, what? They're going after Munster. Which means they're allowing to allow them to go after Scotland. Poor Scotland. And France, but France can't help them. Unless France has a high enough... actually, no, they can't enforce. They can only enforce against Munster. Because Scotland is a secondary participant. So unless they had, a high enough... unless they had high enough relations with Munster. Ooh, also I should be checking whether I can... I'm embarking 2 of the rivals. I should also throw one in on Austria as well, because screw them. Also, you guys that are protecting Sevilla, don't really need you there. Do I have the range over here? Yes, I do. I'm going to go get me some PP. I'm going to go to Privateer Constantinople. Beautiful. There's my 20. There's 10 PP from sending privateers against the Ottomans. And it means I can get an extra leader. Or I can maintain an extra leader without upkeep. Brilliant, considering I only have the one. And I'm going to want, probably going to want another explorer very soon, once I get the range to be able to explore the Caribbean. And then I have to start colonizing the Caribbean, specifically Havana, of course. The other provinces again, where Mexico... Well, the other provinces again. Mexico, Colima, and Cusco, wasn't it? Shall double check the achievement list once again. If and when it loads, which is an annoying thing about the internal Steam browser. Panama, right, Panama. Yeah, I'll need to get that sooner rather than later, another natural harbour. It's also a part of Colombia, so I believe I will be starting my I'll be starting my Colombian nation on this side. Start around here, Cartagena, Darien, Panama, before anywhere else. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Once I have 3 colonists, it's going to kind of be, while it continually extending this, and also adding 2 more colonial nations at the same time. That's just a natives. Long Pig. Ooh, ow, okay. The expedition stumbled upon a small, friendly tribe of natives in Spokane who invited them to a feast to celebrate a recent victory over a neighbouring tribe. There was plenty of meat, with a taste that reminded the conquistador of pork, and the name was apparently Long Pig. It wasn't until after the feast the source of meat was explained. Captives from the defeated tribe sacrificed and eaten to gain the strength of their enemies. Lose 100 dip, Any rumours of this must be silenced, or pray that the conquistador keeps their mouth shut. Lose 50 opinion with, that looks like, all neighbours. Yeah, 50 opinion with all neighbours. I can afford to take the hit. Cannibal conquistador. I'll rebuff the French relations, but I can afford to take the hit. Aragon is... Yeah, Aragon's good enough that I really don't have to worry about it too much. Plus, I don't need to manually integrate them, so I don't need to get them up to 190, which is nice. Also, while I'm thinking of my ideas, obviously I want to take expansion third to get the extra... to get that colonist, and obviously quantity for the final colonist, also to have the force limit, but in the end I'm going to have to go religious fifth. It's going to be a late religious, but it makes sense considering all of this land to take out. Oh yes, we have the points for admin 8. We shall be waiting until the turn of the year to take admin 8. Where are we exploring? Okay, we're exploring the little trail in here, and then I think we're going to head up to... Oh, here we go. French conquest of Morbihan against Brittany. Okay, he's going for Brittany. Is that a subjugation, or just... That's just a straight-up conquest. Brittany, Burgundy, Savoy, and the Pope. The Pope is a pain because... Well, actually, we'll be at war. Hostile relations will still be positive, and I'm not going to be starting another colonial region. It's against Savoy and Burgundy. You know what? Yeah. We shall help and do nothing. Well, the PU juniors can if they really want to. I personally am going to do nothing because that's what I do. You know, it's Frenchy. Frenchy will have no problems with Burgundy, although again they don't have Elan. Burgundy's a military drill, but you know, France has men. I don't think I need to start throwing my men into the fray, at least not initially. Well, turn of the year, we shall be taking our Admin Tech 8, which allows courthouses and workshops. Most importantly, it allows active uniformity, which is a base missionary strength. As well as other things, national unrest, no, again, not worth it. And I generally don't take Suffragan Bishop Act. It's not really terribly worth it. Even though I want to get to Miltech 8, I'm thinking it's a time to... Ooh. I was going to say, I think it's time to hire a general, but really, I'm thinking I'm just going to hold off. Like, this conquistador is getting close to finishing exploring all the lands here. And once he does, I can bring it back. All that not diamonds, all is not diamonds that glimmer. Okay, that's what it is, right. I'm going to wait for the conquistador to finish exploring everything, and then I can just use him as a standard general, because he is a 422, so he's not too bad. Alright, Aragon, you go help out if you really want to. I am going to sit here and do nothing. Yes, I'm going to be the AI when it comes to allies, or when it comes to wars with allies. I'm going to sit back and do nothing. Because that's what I do best. Navarra, why do you... Ooh, such low unrest and massive autonomy. Why the low unrest? Let's see. Oh, you had the excellent vintage as well, okay. But even with the stability and everything, it's minus 11. If I take out the advisor, because he won't be there forever. You know what? I think I'm going to take the chance and manually lower the autonomy in Navarra. Oh, we protected against Austria somehow. Did they get a stack wipe? Or did they get stack wiped somewhere? Oh yeah, I think they got a stack wipe somewhere. Suddenly protected against Austria. Create a proper fleet for Navy 75% of the force limit. Yeah, it's behind, but we don't need it just yet. It's colonizing... Oh, that's colonizing the South Continent for La Plata. Or the Italian ambition. I'm going to just leave all of those for now. I only ever need to take the Italian ambition if I actually physically am integrating Naples. But that's admin 10, that's a while away still. As I said, we're just 140 away from admin 9, and crucially, force march at admin 9, which is peculiar. More false diamonds. More bad diamonds. Ugh, that's unfortunate. Or more non-diamonds. They're not necessarily bad diamonds, they're not diamonds, period. They're finally there, Banuk. Yeah. Odd that the Shoshone haven't sat in Goshute. They usually stay there completely. But they've actually migrated away. In fact, a lot of them have migrated together, and surprised one of them just doesn't go chomp chomp chomp. I'm surprised the Blackfoot just doesn't start eating them all together. But yes, we finished that trail. Hopefully, once we explore Alaska, and I won't actually need the conquistador, at least not for that area anymore. Oh right, active uniformity. You know what? I can start converting these now that I have the axe of uniformity. It's only going to take 5 years here and 4 years for here. So worthwhile. And yeah, I'll just let them do stuff. Although, just gotta hope that Burgundy doesn't die in this. If Burgundy dies, France automatically gets these 3, but well, actually I think they get Rethel as well, and then Austria gets everything up here. Not entirely too sure. It's the French region. Not entirely too sure what counts as the French region. Right, there we go. And then Austria gets all of this stuff. Still 9 years though. If he could stay alive for 9 years, and his heir is alive, so that's good, but he needs to stop using the king as a general. Stop it, Burgundy. So apparently Burgundy should get space luck. No, they didn't get luck in this game. That is odd. Because apparently they got luck in Mad's game. So I wasn't sure. I was surprised that they didn't get luck in this game. There we go. Anyway, when we come back, we'll come back and continue to not help France and continue to slowly but surely grow up Brazil. And hopefully we'll finish exploring the Americas.